So welcome back. My name is Cash Parrish. We are dealing with proof of concept, and we're going to merge in it the MVP. These conversations should not be too long because it's kind of simple in thought. So I'm going to read to you a definition of proof of concept so we can be on the same page as we're going forward. I don't really feel like I need to add much more to this because it's self-explanatory. Proof of concept, evidence typically derived from an experiment or a plotted project, which demonstrates that a design concept, business proposal, etc. is feasible. Now let's talk about feasible. Feasible is possible to do easily or conveniently. So when we talk about proof of concept, we're trying to understand the solution that we have. Will people buy it? Can we get this information through a test? Can we make some kind of prototype, sit it in front of a customer, sit it in front of a potential customer, let them try it, use it, and give us the feedback on this particular experiment so we can validate whether this particular product should be built to the specs that we previously had specified. If we cannot build it to the specs that we have previously specified, first and foremost, we have to have a document that outlines the specs. That's why we talked in the previous videos, you have to jot everything down. So once we have a writ to say this is what we're testing for, we want to understand this feature, this feature, this feature, this benefit, this benefit, this benefit, this cost, this theory. There are certain values that people will spend money for. So we're going to talk about it from this standpoint here. So the prototype, let's deal with the prototype. The prototype is something that is simple, low cost efficient that we can use to validate the value that we want to express to the customer. Now, when I think of a prototype, I do not think of the full-fledged final finish item. I think about something that is lacking some of the luster, but it has the functionality or the capabilities. It will function and show you. So for instance, if you were making a mobile application, you will be able to create a mock-up or a prototype where they can hit the button and it simulates the response. It may not have all the responses in the world under this button. Like if you hit the search engine button on Google, you can pop up with 1 million results. It just populates 1 or 2 results to give the person an idea of this is how I would solve that problem. You click this button to this button and it gives you this feature. Yeah, that's the feature I was looking for. I was looking to understand how you do X, Y, and Z. So let me show you another feature. When we create this prototype, we put all the features in it that will alleviate the pain point or problem that the consumer has. If we put those features in our prototype and they go through the testing process, we document the information and we validate or we prove, having information, having data. We're looking at a test. We're taking information that we believe is accurate and we're testing it against the market that we believe is accurate to see if the two aligns in the manner we believe they do. If they do not align in that manner, then what we have to figure out, what's wrong? Is it the market or is it the product? If the market is right and the market is telling us this product is designed wrong, we think we should have these features to get us these benefits, then we redesign the product until we have proven that the concept is the accurate concept. So that's why I'm saying we use something such as a prototype, something that is not the full-fledged finished product. We don't have the money to build the application to test it in the market. So we built a mock-up version of it, a prototype version of it to show it to the consumer, to give them an opportunity to pluck the widgets, to play with it, to see in reality this is what it's supposed to do. So after we explain it and they try it and it does do that, then we ask the customer, would you buy it? How much would you spend if I could relieve your life of this problem? That's the value. How much are they willing to pay for the value that you are offering? If they are not willing to pay for the value that you are offering, depending on your business model, you may have a social media platform where you sell advertisement. So you got to get users and you have to get advertisers to be on that platform at the same time. So you must figure out how to make the application work for the end user, but also how to make the application attractive for the advertiser. So you will have to do a lot of different types of tests to make sure you're creating a sticky platform. And the best way is to focus on one. I must focus on making sure the users stay on my platform. So I'm going to design the features to attract the users for now. So I'm saying that to say we want to prove that the problem is solved by our solution. So problem, solution, fit. We want to verify that. We want to make sure that it's accurate. If we can make sure that it's accurate, we can move on to the next part. Proof of demand. We're going to make sure that there is proof that people want it. People will actually use it. I can't wait till you create that. I can't wait till you come out with that. How can I get some now? What is proof of demand? Proof of demand could be Kickstarter. People will say, I know you won't have the product finished for 6 months, but here's my money right now. Let me be one of the first people to try that remote control camera system. Let me be the first one to try that underwater hovercraft drone in the air equipment, whatever. Whatever your crazy idea is that you believe that people want, that they need in a industry that you're targeting, then they will say, I want that. And that's the demand. We can show that. And we can say, well, pre-orders. We can go and say, well, you know what? Target said, Walmart said, Publix said, if I get this product in by the first of the year, they'll take 1,000 of them. So we have orders, pre-orders. There's demand for it. We may not have the product made, but people want it. People believe that they can sell it and it would be good for their business or for their life. So they want to buy it. So we actually have proof of concept that people verified and validated that this prototype will work. There's proof of demand that we can start to show to angel investors. Look, we're getting pre-orders. We have people that already want to get this particular item. So we need funding. We have that proof of demand, proof of concept, proof of demand. So we move from that, and all of that's bundled together, because if people want the product, they believe it works, but they don't want to pay for it, then we don't really have a demand unless we have a different type of business model. That's why I gave you the information about advertising through social media example. But we want to make sure that people actually want it. We have solved the problem that they have, and they actually want this product, and they're actually willing to spend money for this product, and we're actually getting orders in on back order. So that is proof of concept. And I hope that was simple enough. You cannot or should not ever create the final product without proving and validating that there is a need for it. If you are entering into an already established market and you're just doing yours differently, you still need to validate that, okay, I'm doing education. What makes my education company any different from this education company? How are we unique? How are we better, faster, cheaper, unique? In what way? We validated that people buy education, but we must validate that they want this new version that we are coming with, this innovative version that we are coming with, this mobile version or this particular online course that we are coming with. We have to still validate that information. Now let's talk about the MVP. I just combined those together. Let me see if I can read this to you. MVP is a part of the lean startup strategy. The proof of concept has solved the problem. The MVP builds the smallest, fastest thing to the market so you can learn. That's a bunch of mumbo jumbo to say there's a strategy called lean startup strategy that if you are in the startup entrepreneurship space, you will really understand that space. Done every test, everything is lean. You take the smallest thing possible and you learn by producing something small to give you fast results, to give you information, to give you accuracy, and then you add on one block and add another block and test that 2 blocks together. Then you add another block and test all 3 of those blocks, and you keep on working at the process until you have the whole house. So we're saying lean startup strategy is a whole nother strategy. We'll have another video that covers the basic principles of lean startup strategy. But the MVP is a part of that philosophy. We want you to make something that is small, the minimal viable product. We call it minimal because, and let me see if I can read that for you. Let me see where I get them. Minimal, the smallest thing. Viable, that what is possible to create. What is that we can consistently do? What is convenient? What is feasible? What is the ability? Are we able to do it? Then the product, that's the exact same thing. That's the thing that you're selling. So the minimal, the smallest thing that people will be willing to pay for, you can even call it the minimal valuable product, because it's the minimal thing that people find value in, that they're willing to part ways with their money for. Meaning, if you create a widget or an application and you're trying to add 35 features in it, but the customers are telling you they only need these 3 features and they'll pay you $5 a month for it, that is the minimal valuable product. That is what we put on the market. That's what we get to the consumers. We get those things to the consumers so the consumer can say, I like this, I don't like that, I like how this functions, I hated that, I like this color, I don't like that color. And we can get the feedback and we can modify the product till it's precisely right for the customer. Then we can roll out other features, other benefits later. So the minimal valuable product is going to be the smallest thing that the customer finds value. Not the smallest thing that I find value, the smallest thing the customer finds value. So if the customer don't find value in your 35 features, limit it to what they find. 5 features, $5, that's the 5 features we add to the app. We launched the app in 6 months versus 6 years. And so that's what we do. We cut down the time, we get to the market, we start to build a company, and we keep the morale up, we keep moving, we keep making baby steps, we keep making progress. What I want you to think about now, prove your concept. You should be getting off this video and saying, my next step is to go out here and prove that people want what I have. Now, I'm going to talk about what an MVP is to me and what it's not. You'll find different articles and different things to talk about. An MVP could be a web page. To me, an MVP is not a web page. I'm going to look in your face and say this. An MVP is not a web page to me if the web page doesn't solve the problem. That can be a web page to sell the solution. You may want to see if anybody's interested in that solution. That can give you a proof of your concept that people say, oh, it could do all of this. I'll make a purchase of it. It can bring you a proof of demand that people want it, but it does not actually give the people a hands-on experience to try it and use it to say, this is what I'm purchasing. Because you can leave that web page and still go out and build the 35 features. Because, oh yeah, they want what I got. But you don't know what limited amount of features that they want. I don't believe it's an email. I don't believe it's a web page. I do not believe the minimal valuable product. Those are things that we use in proof of concepts, prototypes, sketches, mock-ups. All of those things are we using to do proof of concept. But the minimal valuable product is the thing that they actually paid money for. That's the thing that they actually spent their money for and they found value in it. And they're using it and giving us feedback even on that. But when they're not paying for it, it's not even, to me, again, it's not even in the minimal valuable product, because it's not a product that is sold to the people, and it's not the minimal amount of features to produce the maximum amount of benefits it takes to get that customer to convert. So we want to make sure that our minimal valuable product is something that they actually paid for and put in hand, whether it was a widget, whether it was an application, a website, a product, a book, a document, whatever that item is that's going to relieve the stress, the pain, to give them the need, the want, the desire, the solution to their problem. We sold it to them at the lowest cost that they would spend for the lowest or the maximum cost they would spend for the least amount of features to maximize the benefits to their life. That's a minimal valuable product to me. Now, every case is different. You may explain yours a little different to say, oh no, my website is because of X, Y, and Z. My web page is because X, Y, and Z. But if it is not the actual end user thing, the thing that the end user actually benefits from, then it can be used. I use it in different categories to say that's proof of concept. Maybe that's proof of demand. Maybe that's market research. But that is not the minimal valuable product, because it did not actually give the people the relief to the problem that they have. So Saying those things to say, so get out here, start working on your proof of concept. You have already done your think tank session. You should have already done your market research. If you didn't do it, this proof of concept video, you should not be watching it and trying to skip the steps. Proof of concept is to prove the information that we've already decided we want to target the company and build the company around. Everybody should be rallying around this particular idea and this vision and this product to bring it to the consumer. If you are not willing to go and talk to the consumers and believe that you know everything and you are super smart and you have it all together and nobody can tell you anything different, you are going to fail. You'll be the first person booted out the accelerators, the startups, the investors won't spend no money with you, and you're gonna be out here assed out. That's how we say it. You should be focused on going talk to the customers. Go look them in the face, hear their thoughts, their concerns, talk to them live. If you don't want to go to them face to face, do live broadcasts, do Instagram live, Facebook live, build that audience, that community, and talk to them directly about their problems. Let them post on the screen their feedback. Bring a caller in on Instagram live, Facebook live, and have that one-on-one conversation in front of the whole world so you can gather as much information from your broadcast that can give you feedback to create your idea or to finalize your proof of concept. And then bring whatever you come up with to those people in a prototype manner to say, okay, I talked to you last month and you told me you're looking for a product that does X, Y, and Z. Would you mind giving me feedback on this particular prototype that I'm creating and to let me know if you think this will solve your problem the way that you need your problem solved? And any positive feedback or negative feedback will greatly be appreciated to help me modify and move my product into the next stage of development. So my name is Cash Parrish. Problems, questions, concerns, hit me up with comments below so we can make these videos better. I hope that the things that we are saying at Proceed Startup Society is beneficial to you and is helping you understand the routes you need to go to develop that startup company. This is serious business, people. And we want to work together, community, society, sticking together, staying together. We cannot build these businesses alone and by ourselves. I know we are living in an age of solo entrepreneurship and do everything independent, but that's not how startups are built. It's teamwork makes the dream work. Stick together. Talk to the people in the society. You can hit me. You can hit other instructors that are in the society. Hit other mentors that are in the society, or just hit your other peers up and talk and conversate about these things. Scared money don't make none, so don't hesitate to hit me up and talk to me. I make better content when you talk to me, and I'm sure your businesses are better because you have had that conversation to unbox every problem that you have, and we can work on those things. So again, www.cashparrish.education. That's where you can find me. Last but not least, y'all get off this broadcast and go to work. Let's get this proof of concept and this MVP built, and we'll talk about lean strategy as well as customer development in the future. Peace.